pandemonium live from Rio, trying to will FURIA into a strong start. They start on the T side. GamerLegion to defend. We've seen this lineup before. Hey, future pros. KSCERATO will throw it out. 4 charging up the ramp, looking for a pick and looking for a plant.
Oh, negated immediately here. Smoke deployed. That's going to send them packing elsewhere. Now connecting the dots. One from Art, Molly to follow, and in they come. But look how many bodies are on the site.
Big commitments now. First click, looking for that first blood. It's 2 in the feed, straight from GamerLegion, silencing the FURIA assault. yuurih holds on to it. Keeps it up for debate, nearly found a third. Shui needs to tuck in. KSCERATO has caught Roka. Roka? I got it backwards. But now a 2v2 and very low. Shui will big bait and switch. Needs this, isak gets it. Can still go wrong. KSCERATO, he has the chance to right the ship. A 3 versus 5. And now looking at the superstar, he's looking the wrong way. What a recovery.
The fangs of FURIA strike early here. yuurih and KSCERATO, or as yuurih as they're known here in Rio.
Good golly.
Get them on their feet early. They turn this one around. Look at this. IEM grabs 2 of his own. KSCERATO on the perfect timing there. Sits Acor down, and then KSCERATO goes looking. And boy, does he find Shui. Secures the first round of play here.
Yeah, swallow their pride quickly there. 2 opening kills. yuurih and KSCERATO disrupt. No, mantling up. Hoping to catch R off guard, already squandered.
Light investment here. There's practically an eco. Don't let that 5.7 and P250 fool you. There's nothing else behind it.
The fights will come to them likely because FURIA happy to wait around. Some damage dealt and the finish not quite found yet. yuurih fires off his AK. 1 of 2 in play. No sense of urgency yet. They're walking into it though. It's safe. It's not stressed. yuurih will find the final blows. Another multi-kill for one of the fangs. Bomb is down and Acor soon to follow. He's been spotted out, safe. He's talking a lot and Acor's got nothing to celebrate. Flawless into the conversion. Strong start for the home favorites.
Nice hard clear there. Ooh. We'll never understand, Alex. We've got the Eco Watcher here today. And I think the pride of Brazil, or what's left of it, is FURIA. That's the conversation here.
Yeah, and that's some insight, you know, into this fandom. You will never understand. It's somewhat of their motto. They use it as a unifying banner as to explain why there's a very special feeling in this room. And it's unique to the Brazilian Counter-Strike fans. Charging now, aggression up the ramp. Shui to support, flash needs to be released. And Art was already relieved, Ime, of his life. Now, problems in the flame. Shui can't get his crosser in the right place. And it's going to go from bad to worse here, because Safe flashed on through. Hunting, swinging, leads another. Kios stands his ground firmly. Still alive, somehow. He's made a round out of this. The double.
He's got the bomb here.
You're right. Does he just go for the plant? It's not going to be easy to contest, but he's not particularly supported. KSCERATO is going for a late mid-pinch, and Drop has lost the bomb. Awkward now, and they're expecting him. Eos finally silenced after the pair of frags. isak in a very tight situation given KSCERATO's trajectory. Now he knows the bomb's on site. He's been allowed to slink away. KSCERATO doing the same.
Game of hide and seek right now.
Very much.
KSCERATO's really taking his time to clear this out. No rush indeed. 35 seconds left on the clock, and Art, he's just parked the bus over towards Sandbag. So poor isak hoping they make the next move.
It will eventually come down to Art. isak aware. KSCERATO dead. On for the clutch. Pressure on Art, needs to get that bomb down, and the fight. It's a big one.
Hey.
Wins it out. isak holds his nerve. Clutch is up for GamerLegion.
Nice one there, all things considered. It's all Kios really is the impact, and we'll get to catch that one again. Pushes through the smoke, takes this fight, spins on a dime. Safe felt lost in that situation. A great flank from KSCERATO, but they took so long to activate. The bomb was down as soon as drop fell, and well, isak, he fells too. And yuurih getting very fired up. You're against the crowd here today, and for such a young team, GamerLegion as an org, never had a major before, but straight into mid. Keels again, down the guts. Acor here needs to mop it up, traded out, 2 from safe.
Hyper aggressive. You can kind of understand the call when we just saw the visuals of the in-game leader of GamerLegion just sending aggression into the mix, fighting fire with fire against FURIA.
Well, the mid-round now, and everybody's just happy to sit on their haunches and hope the fight comes their way. Change the colors. Who's attacking?
Yeah, a bit of a role reversal. Look at the angle that yuurih's working with, though. It could be a problem. The info's been relayed, a tap fired, and that is safe. Posting his 5th frag. yuurih good for it as well.
isak again, this time a 1-on-3. A little bit more of a dicey situation. And one, considering the cash, is it one he really wants to go for. You can see a diffuse kit just around the corner there. Sure, he'd love to get his mitts on that, but so many unanswered questions here for isak.
Well, the utility heard. And the futility fell. 3 up against him. He's going to try and nade the plant. It is safe, and he is susceptible. Okay, 1 more of those to make it a 1-on-1. Can't contest the same way. yuurih bodyguarding, and that's easy for KSCERATO. No sweat on the brow, and right back to their winning ways.
Okay. The clutch falls against them in the previous, but in the fashion GamerLegion won that round. They're in a bit of a precarious situation. A bit of a tech timeout called here from the FURIA side of things. This one sorted ASAP. Such a contrast from our last match here. Vitality taking on none other than Greyhound on the stage, and now FURIA, it's kind of a whole different environment.
I mean, how can you not love GamerLegion? The fact that you're in such a big game, one of the biggest games of your career, and yuurih gives them a 2-man mid-push out of the gates in the first gunny. I mean, it's a ballsy call, right? That's not something that's coming out of most IGL's mouths early.
No, you can understand it as well, though, right? You need to be a bit proactive when you don't have all the goodies, right? And wanting to stay in the fight. We've discussed their aggression. Ahone with Peacemaker highlighting yesterday. It didn't go so well for them. We were casting that game. Bad news, Eagles qualify for the Legends stage by toppling GamerLegion. Just take this in. I know we've had 3 days of this now, but it's remarkable scenes. In all my years, the group stage, once upon a time, this was the major qualifier, and now today, with the 2014 major, there's several thousand people in an arena on a Wednesday,
Yeah,
taking it all in.
Yeah, it is almost, you know, hard to believe how far we've come. I mean, Chad, yeah, you were playing the same kind of, the same level of the tournament, same stage of this tournament in like a hotel room.
Yeah,
you know,
Katowice, like second floor.
A ballroom, you know, kind of vibe with a couple of tables.
The audience was the other players.
Yeah, that's right. They did have chairs out for us, though.
That was kind.
Quite the contrast as to where we find ourselves now, 2022.
And look at that view, right? For one side, GamerLegion, that's a horde against you. The other, that is your support. That is your fans. Those are the individuals entrusting you with the victory and willing you in that direction.
And I thought I kind of learned a nice lesson from NQZ as well. When he was performing against the crowd, and of course not the crowd favorite in that matchup, he was using it to drive him further. You know, you can either get swallowed up by it and overwhelmed by it and intimidated by it, or you use it to drive you into a higher level of flow state. You know, I'm against more than 5 players. I'm against this whole world. The world's against me, and it can lead you to truly pop off. It is a very delicate balance you have to walk, though. If you do make yourself an enemy of the crowd, then when those oopsies and doopsies start happening, it will haunt you even further. It looks like we have sorted out our tech issues, ready to rock and roll with another round of counter. In terms of the breakdown, we heard from the desk, you know, in terms of where this is going to go. Do you think we see Ancient?
It's curious. I think here it's unfortunate for GamerLegion that they are so green, right? This is a difficult task for them to take down a team in back-to-back majors who have made it to that playoff stage. FURIA are not only the best Brazilian team, they're an accomplished team in World Counter-Strike. GamerLegion are on the rise in the last couple of months.
Right.
Sure, there's a couple of names that we are familiar with, but this team is still very new to this environment. If they continue putting pen to paper and writing this story, fantastic. It's the Bad News Eagles of Rio this time round. But it's not going to be an easy matchup. And with Inferno as the second of play and Vertigo being picked in from FURIA, I think GamerLegion are feeling comfortable. But we saw a slew of tweets come out yesterday after they lost to Bad News Eagles in a 2-0 fashion. And so we had an off day. Well, you can't have one of those back-to-back, especially in an environment like this. Now, not a whole lot to boast in this, a Flash and a Zeus. So as we trundle across the map here, it's just about FURIA finding the path of least resistance. This time round, they will be using a few Molotovs onto the side. Anders had a chance to sit down. Yeah, well, we had Art in the green room, didn't we? Sitting down with Anders, having a bit of a chit-chat. You saw that breakdown. It's great to get to pick the minds of any of these players.
Yeah, I mean, they're presented the same problem, and these minds come up with different solutions. It's always very exciting.
Nice nade. There goes the flash. And scooped up by Acor.
Yeah, Kios forced to watch as this one will likely be wrapped up quickly.
Flanks on flanks on flanks. Mid pressure, A pressure, and the bomb was being planted B. So the entire map was FURIA's there. They'll make that 4-1.
Just think every time Art just glances off of his monitor, as you do. You know, normally you're just looking at your living room posters or your bedroom wall. Every time his eyes just dart away from the radar, he's reminded of exactly where he is and what's at stake.
And if they win this series, they get to do it all again starting on Saturday.
Yeah.
That Legend stage. And all the support will be here for them. Now over towards A ramp. Shui, aggressive, flashes, flames, and the fight. He's going to get found. Art onto him, and in they go.
Big opener and a response out of Acor. Already, though, that commitment of the util from yuurih implies a commitment and save. Yeah, he follows in. Hard fight, wins it out, looking the wrong way, it's Imi. Acor's doing everything, though, to keep this defense alive. Triple kill from the Dane. Backups arrive. KSCERATO has just timed this perfect gap. You can see Isaac's just averted his gaze, distracted by the bloodshed. And as he returns, KSCERATO, the turret, beheads. Options now, you can see the bomb charging.
Cheeky.
And holding a lovely off angle. There's no way Acor's checking that. It could come down to the one-on-one. And it's Kios again. 2 denials, 2. So early into the piece. He keeps GamerLegion in it. Both of the rounds they boast are off the back of that kid.
Yeah, big impact here for Kios. Now, this is a name that has been floating around for some time. Remember back in Berlin, Simon Gaiman speaking Russian. Now he's in an international team doing it in English. And this here, right place, right time. I thought KSCERATO made the play of the round right there, but Kios shows up. Him and Acor combined, but once again, they're down to this weird buy situation. 2 MP9s alongside of these rifles. FURIA can just crack in again. And this pace, unrelenting.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Ime trying his luck. If he can catch them through the smoke, he's got something. A lot done with that. Should be dead. Isn't. Smokes are up to obscure his retreat. And makes a lot out of that MP9. Dream scenario for Imi. The contrary for FURIA.
Still can execute here, but they're stalled out by utility for now. Some defensive pieces deployed, and that one doesn't look like it was intended to land right there. Regardless, 3-on-4 situation, and well, there's 3 on the other side of this. About to take the fight on the fade.
Okay, KSCERATO. Oh, we can get them both. They both stand still. And FURIA make Rio stand up.
Again, these MP9s alongside, it started so much better this time. They took the fight, they took the aggression, they get the kills, and then caught in transition on the fade.
How is he so consistently so good?
Look at the 2 of them, though. 12 for KSCERATO, 9 for yuurih. It's been KSCERATO all tournament long. He is the best player from this part of the world. There is no doubt about that in my mind. And now that he has yuurih along for the ride, these 2, this is the heart and soul of FURIA. I know Art's playstyle is the one that gets everybody excited, but these 2 are legit superstar level players, both showing up when the team needs them. Remember, this is a progression match. You get these 2 under the belt, you make your way into that next stage of play, you do it all again, you continue to live this fever dream that we've got out there.
I mean, I know I'm stating the obvious to say the whole of Brazil's behind them, but what I'm referencing is, of course, the teams that haven't managed to make it. I'm sure there was a bit of a team talk. If not, there is a room somewhere with a lot of very anxious Counter-Strike players from Brazil trying to will FURIA into the Legend stage.
It's so wild that all those kills come in simultaneously. You can just see how it pulls the legs out under all of them. It feels like you have enough players, and then as soon as you lose that first, it all just tumbles apart. And back down to just these pistols. Isak with the saved MP9, sure. That's one of the worst weapons you'd be saving in a scenario like that, and continuing to move as a pack, hoping to outmaneuver FURIA. If you do get the opportunity to crash into them, yeah, then your individuals can step up and take those type of fights. But now you've been outmaneuvered, you're outpositioned, and you're outgunned.
Might be out of time. Nades will be landing, forcing Imi out of this hidey hole. He's still living for now. Not the same can be said for Kios. You need a hero play, and well, Shui finds his first frag. That's a nice start. Cost him a heavy price though, and that MP9 is damage. FURIA can play it safe. Keep those healthy men at the front. Drop KSCERATO. Set up for success. Flash lands. Shui blind. And they're not in any rush. You see the frags are coming to them right now, and it does seem to be taking it in turns. This time it's Drop with a 3K. Frags definitely coming their way on this T side. Yeah,
this is getting a little bit too easy right now. A hefty lead, and one of the biggest dramas is the lack of consecutive rounds here for GamerLegion. The rounds they've won have been great. They have come down to one-on-one scenarios, however, and that means when they buy into the follow-up, they don't have everything they need. They've tried to meet that with aggression, and it's been a mixed bag, but again, the purchase is through, and this time it's towards B. One round too early.
See what you can do about that. Isak likely feels how different this feels. The smoke is down early for the cross and pressure. Oh, the utility. It's very precise. Up and over, Acorn deleted. Oh, and it's fallen apart. Already FURIA sinking their fangs into the neck of GamerLegion. Kios unwilling to quit. Keeps it interesting. A 2-on-2, KSCERATO forward, yuurih in tow. The two top performers for FURIA in tandem. And he's got the angle, he's got them both! Up to 14! Running, sprinting for FURIA. 24 frags between the two of them.
Needs to be a timeout right now from GamerLegion. Just take your breath. How quick is this gone? These rounds, they're in B, they're out mid. We've got a minute 35 on the clock. The first fights are happening. This is getting away from them quickly.
When you're watching that round transpire, it's fun to think about what do GamerLegion's comms sound like when all that's happening? Because you've got people at B screaming for help. You've got people at mid saying, I can't see anything. Oh, I'm dead. And it's over. The round's already concluded. I love this from Kios. He managed to show once again some resilience. His second frag, follow up onto Drop, gave them a chance for a 2v2 retake, but KSCERATO just out-positioned.
We need to discuss the flow and effects of how some of these rounds have gone, though, because over towards A, it's been consistent for FURIA. Strolling up, taking the round fights, walking into the site, executing, winning. Now, when you have to deal with that, if it comes fast, you need to start 3 players A. One supported member throwing the ramp, smoke, whichever variation you want. You can do scaffold, you can do deep ramp, flashes need to be there, Molotovs to slow, and now they're going B and mid, quick, which means you're going to play a 1-1, 1 mid, 1 B, as we saw in the previous, and there's Kios again. He's looking sharp, still hitting shots. Isak's turn.
Okay, that might be enough to tame the beast temporarily. I say that as Drop is forward of this position. Not enough lethality. Isak just the body shot. Smoke would imply some degree of a commitment. Oh, oof, pre-pop pops the head of Acor. Imposing. But all of these kind of coin toss moments seem to be coming up FURIA.
And now, if they want, they can really take the pace out of this. They've done all the hard work. It didn't go fantastically for them earlier. We did see that retake onto the site from Isak. But this is against pistols. So as they sit and wait, GamerLegion scratch their head. To take a look here with the 5-7 on. Good weapon for the job, but they have to walk in his direction here, and a shot fired, a flash followed. That'll draw Shui across as well. It will be the finish back over towards the B bomb site.
Textbook.
Playing games with them now. They start the round so early, they shell shock you, they force the rotations, and Now they cut you apart.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about pace changes. I think if FURIA truly master the art of keeping that pace dynamic, they're going to be incredibly difficult to read.
A stage environment is very good for playstyles like this because if and it's even more so if the crowd's on your side and you're winning, because they're making noise, and that's ambient noise. Sure, you know, it's the rumble that you're worried about, but it's coming so quick. It's coming so quick, and then it's running away from GamerLegion. Like, how are you meant to stall this out? They're just fighting you round after round. You don't get a moment of rest. Yeah, and then when they give you the rest, you don't want the rest.
And when those fights are happening so quickly, you know, that ambient noise is already hitting these peaks. You're already feeling rushed. And this game could just slip away from you. You might blink, you miss it. Suddenly, well, FURIA have won the T-half. In 10 rounds of play, FURIA already boasting 8 attacking rounds here on their pick.
Maybe this is a difference maker. The A-Core AWP is out now. A long time between drinks. I don't think we've seen that yet from A-Core.
Certainly been feeling himself in this jersey, in that role. We always talk about how much of a mental game Counter-Strike is. We use phrases like mental fortitude, resilience. Well, that's going to be a requirement for GamerLegion. They have to make a half out of this, otherwise it's just going to be Vertigo. A very quick second half. isak thinks better of the fight. Well-placed Molotov will delay.
See if they go for this boost now. Oh, it's actually looking to be on that left-hand side. More softening up utility and a smoke to deny this position. So they think better of it. That isolates the angles here and gives GamerLegion one less place to look. And as they slink on back, they will grab that bomb. Oh. Matt playing the fate of the smoke.
Lovely.
Nice little one-way on the sandbag. Beautiful work there. Art's found the gap, though. Of course, Art's found the gap.
Imir's looking to patch it up. He's just going to walk into that crosshair. Ooh, did find some damage. Great headshot. Art's there, but he's not alone. Chewy forced into the fight. Gets away. Got a lot on his plate as he crosses back through. Supported by A-Core. Damage. Need more out of the AWP. Still can't find lethality as they are limping. 15 seconds. FURIA, just the two of them. Great placement of that incendiary. What? Oh, I thought he actually might have got away with that. The spread, the readjustment. The bomb is down. A 2-on-2 now. And yuurih, relentless on the AK. Get away, and the advantage, it swaps hands. Isak's had a clutch. Has he got any more in him? Just staying together at the hip. He's got to find us both. Oh, he went for the transfer. 9 HP, Chad. He nearly had it.
That was close. That was very, very close. Another good attempt there. Had the kit, had everything he needed to pull that one off.
The margin for error on that, if Drop is just fluffed his lines, if he misses one more click, that could have been a clutch from isak.
And it's the kiosk push, which is very desperate there. Right, they had the number advantage. They could have all pushed together or all waited and initiated a little bit later. Kios has found impact in these rounds, so he's feeling himself. He has 9 kills. Understandable in an environment like this. Second timeout call for GamerLegion. Conversation can't be a healthy one. It's just going to be a partial investment here. Trying to lay the groundwork for the remainder of this half, but you have a whole lot of work to do, not only on the scoreboard, but just breaking down some of the bank balances here of FURIA. This was the chance, so there comes the kill on yuurih. The transfer not far off.
He started that transfer perfectly. Just his perception of
5 HP.
When that adjustment had to be made was bang on the money. The smallest factors, biggest difference, and so keeping it conservative. 5-7's definitely getting a bit more vogue, and so is some aggression, as you can see Kios throwing himself into the meat grinder, and combines with isak for at least the one. Unfortunately, everybody's dropping. An exceptional from A-Core. 2 on the pistol. Again, these rounds, they fly by. Now, typically, though we've seen this before, it's FURIA that stabilize. They have the advantage financially, equipment, health.
The key's the push from Imirh here. He knows that it will not be the A play. He's already down towards the fork room. A-Core's actually freed up a little here, but is going around the world. So I think they're expecting FURIA to hit the brakes again. But again, another bit of a change in the pace. are leering forward with yuurih, and they've investigated the entire site. They know they can get the bomb down and even fortify in more aggressive positions here if they so choose. And look at all the utility. This one here feels unlosable for FURIA.
Yeah, I think you just had to see a bit more proactivity given the advantages that your opponent had. You want to catch them by surprise. Unfortunately now, I mean, with all this utility, this round reeks of futility for GamerLegion.
2 AKs.
Yeah, nice to find the weapons. You want to use IEM first, see if he can break down the door a little bit. Keep that trade potential in A-core. Low HP, even lower now, and that is art. 3 in the round. He's contributing heavily, keeping everything real tied up. And the frag distribution, it's about 5, separating top from bottom from FURIA. No outliers, no absentees. Everyone in a must-win game online.
This is what it looks like when the game plan is working perfectly. Right, where have they been stalled out? A couple of rounds that are clutches late? Yeah, that's it, right? In terms of the way that they are playing this T-side, GamerLegion are the ones chasing the tail of FURIA, who are running away with this. And now back towards A. Drops flashes over the top, well placed, and IEM has to drop back.
This is a duel that determines a whole lot. IEM gets in, gets away. And oh, caught out, not expecting yuurih just to dry swing off the crane. And that advantage now will be leveled out. And if you're defending air, you're feeling the heat right now, not only from the Molotov, but from the speed by which that started. isak, I like it. He's opted for a forward position, so should they try and return, which actions indicate, will at least be able to delay. Now, he has a similar thought process and opts for a new line.
Wonder if they caught the trajectory of that. Regardless, you would be expecting a player close behind a smoke this deep. Kills is the closest support network here.
Oh, isak's not so sure. He knows the value of his life as well. He's got to pick his moment. Incendiary from the headshot box. Clear indicator for FURIA that they can crawl on up. And that's the duel that isak had to win. Oh, he takes both of the fangs. Defangs FURIA. And a third as well, locking it down. Only drop alone, but a solid hold. Not an easy site to hold. Oh, and drop. Hold on. Got himself a nice frag, a nice upgrade.
Watch him throw this away. Oh, is he going to hold on to it here? All right. Well, he might just throw it over the fence, not let them play with their big toy. But looking to save here, and that will be... Okay, yeah, well, he was removing it from play.
I was
thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, it's probably more beneficial for them. You don't really need the AWP at the moment. You're just running with rifles and stripping them limb from limb. So, understandably so, he denies them that. And, oh, GamerLegion, if they can eke together 5, get that pistol round, there's always a chance for them to get back into this. Now, they played Vitality on this very map. They lost both pistol rounds. They did the lion's share of their good work in the gun rounds, and a lot of that was some good T rounds. So there is still an opportunity here, but again, it's a round on the board. Can they finally get something consecutive?
Yeah, it's been severely lacking.
Well, this is literally the last chance to do so, because we've moved into the final after a round loss, then mission impossible.
And Shui cruising for a bruising. Aggressive. There is still someone lingering towards despawn, and it's drop ready. Kept level. isak trades a clear reveal though, and surely Shui's gonna be encountering one, if not more. Gets the AK out in time. yuurih to react, calls upon the help of Safe, and they do dispatch of him. Now falls into a 3v3. Presence ramp. A-core floating short. CT smoke is established, but with gaps. A-core might be putting his head in the vice if he flirts with it.
So many question marks right now for GamerLegion. Mid's been open for quite the time. I think he may just had a bit of a look, and now he's pedaling back to back up A-core.
Plus, if KSCERATO's alive, you know the man likes a slow walk mid.
Yeah, look at this. They're clearing out absolutely everything. They have no idea exactly where these final FURIA players could be. Looks like it will be the A finish. So that is going to be on Safe and yuurih to walk in. And, well, they can come in and out. They have plenty of utility. Can smoke left and right, but instead they just want to look for these fights. Really could set up a full execute here.
Well, Safe's been spotted out. A-core calls for aid. KSCERATO activates. That's the difference, though. It's Safe. Oh, traded.
Back to B.
Why not? Especially with all that utility on KSCERATO. yuurih's got a red carpet run now to a safe plant, and this is the frag. KSCERATO's just so good for it. He was always going to hit that.
It's so naughty as well. They take the space and then they execute every single time. They're just playing the rotations.
Drilled into them. You could see there's just, KSCERATO has such a clear perception of when to activate. And now, yeah, he makes the retake. Well, interesting. IEM looking for the bomb, not so default. Hidden in the smoke, and actually a bad plant. A bad plant for yuurih. He might go wide. Holy moly!
Both players there with some accuracy.
I'd like to see that one again if we have the facilities. yuurih.
Imagine the AK on both of them. Let's see who gets it first, huh?
God, it was just a rapid speed test. I mean, IEM does well to make it into the 1v1, but yuurih, wow, that's a wrist breaker. Slap. Both hit the dink. You're bang on, yeah.
And that's in that situation, you're not expecting him to be so deep, right? Because the smoke, you could have just sat it. Just sat it behind the toolbox, though. Would have had the defuse every day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, the mind games of that. You do sometimes see pro players not plan for themselves deliberately. It's just the depth of the game. Quick timeout. Looks like we're going to be getting this one resolved. It is, or rather, we're heading into the final round of FURIA's attack on our first map.
One more day of play coming up tomorrow. Once we come to the conclusion, we have EG versus Cloud9. That's an elimination match going on right now. Two North American hopefuls, huh? And FURIA taking on GamerLegion here, which is a progression match. Neither team will be eliminated if they do falter here. They will have to play again tomorrow for an opportunity to join the likes of FaZe, Liquid, Na'Vi. The list can go on in that Legend stage.
Thought he had a magic wand for a second. It makes more sense it's a drumstick. He's not a die-hard Harry Potter fan.
How many different jerseys do you think the Brazil? Do you think there are actually? I am just a devout fan for FURIA.
Oh no, I think they come in with 4 shirts on.
And then they just peel them off depending on who's playing.
Yeah.
It's quite the strategy. I've seen some Brazilian legends out here in the crowd, getting some love and giving some. Kogu yesterday in the thick of things, right in the cheering section.
A legend of Brazil.
Without a doubt. Right, there are some names. We're going back an awful long time to think about some of the forefathers, right? We talk about the Furs, the Fallen, the Tacos, the Coldzera's. Legendary players that came before them that inspired the likes of Fallen and Co. And Kogu is definitely one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. Even, you know, we saw yesterday Shiro and Fallen and just the mutual respect they had for one another. And the Shiro saying, you know, I used to watch your 1.6 frag movies when I was, you know, not even considering the idea of being a professional Counter-Strike player. So there is this lovely depth, like a rich wealth of history that Counter-Strike has that just gives it this extra little bit of magic. The fact that this group stage has got a raucous crowd, the fact that these players, you know, can feel like superheroes for a week, maybe 2, it's all because of that. The reason we've got so many bums in seats for day 3 of the Challenger stage. And it's been a long time coming as well. You know, we said we were coming to Rio. 2 years later, we find ourselves here, and FURIA do too, in a position to secure the top 16 of the major. We've been there before. Can't say the same for GamerLegion.
Precisely. For a lot of these fresh faces in the server, their very first major, so quite the way to experience things. I think if you were going to pick one, it would probably be this one. I feel like this, especially for the Challenger stage, with this many people, will be unique. I mean, Brazil.
Look at the names we've lost, you know, the likes of IHC. The opportunity to play in front of a crowd like this and to feel that, I mean, there is a very short list of human beings that have experienced Arena Counter-Strike and participating in it as a player. Like, that's a very unique club to be a part of. And now, yeah, you're at the major. You want to make it, you want to really feel that magic of the major, and you certainly do from day 1 here at IEM Rio.
Do you think he's hot?
I probably would be too. Maybe he's not got anything else underneath.
Okay, well there you go. Keep it on then, mate.
Anyone that's just joined us wondering why the podcast has begun, we are just awaiting a tech issue to be resolved on stage. Maybe going to change out a computer, but enough time for you to perhaps grab a drink.
Looks like he's getting back in now.
Yeah, I can see some... he's entering in that Russian player's name, you know, the...
Steam Guard.
Steam Guard, that's
the guy. And team speak first, and then after that, you get into the game and away you go. So make sure the comms are on point.
Lemania, an icon from the Portuguese broadcast, and very friendly. I think I first met him in Stockholm when we were doing the major there. And I was just wondering, like, this guy was walking around, all the players seemed to know him. Like, every player was walking up and shaking his hand, and I was like, what am I missing? What do I not know? Well, Lemania, yeah, a legend clearly in European shores as well, but here he is on home soil, part of the broadcast delivering the Portuguese and the live arena experience.
That's the crazy thing with the goalless side of things, right? He has this arsenal of individuals that he just sends out into the world doing live interviews.
From my understanding, like, Lemania was just someone that joined the fan cams of Gaules. So he would just show up, and he was always there, and he was always energetic. And it got to the point where Gaules, you know, got him on the broadcast, and he's now got, you know, a giant separate fandom.
Yeah, he's got his own legion of fans.
Yeah, precisely, by virtue of just this kind of community and family feel that their broadcast has.
You see GamerLegion is taking this in as well.
Yeah, take a couple of mental snapshots. I think you should.
It's funny that there's Gary. Now, unfortunate he can't be on the stage with them.
Nothing but love from the fans there.
It's also a great opportunity now that we have...
I'm sorry, I just...
Astralis fan?
A single Astralis fan. He's come all the way.
Oh, dear.
He bought his tickets ahead of time.
Yeah, well, fun fact, I tweeted it out the other day, but back when we did Road to Rio for the first RMR online, when we got thrown into
really
this whole
rolling
pandemic madness, Astralis was still the legendary Astralis.
God damn.
And they came first against G2 in the final. And that was the G2 that had Amanek, Jax, Kenny, Hunter, Nexa. And now Nexa is the only one of that lot here.
Bloody hell.
And Dupree and Magisk are the only one of that lot here.
Oh, Chad, you're spitting bars right now.
It's really showing you how long this has been in the making.
Yeah, well, we said, it took us 2 years to get here. Look at that snapshot of how quickly our Counter-Strike world can change. And so can the powers. And the powers that be decree we play. Last round of this half, first map, best of 3, winner through to the Legends stage. It's been a great haul on this T side. GamerLegion would love to just sweeten the pot a little with the last.
4 doesn't feel like enough, but it's the best they can boast right now. Again, another one of these rounds with MP9s with the boost in the box. A different look from Kios here.
Could be functional. Timing is everything. Can drop pre-aim. Okay. Not much of a reaction chance. That's better. Shui, surely. Ooh, good damage onto Arc. Gets him down to 30 on a quick flick, but yeah, FURIA got a bit of a silver platter for the 12th now. They do typically find this slow crawl through mid, but it's not just KSCERATO this time. He's got a full pack with him, so they're opting to sweep through ramp as a unit.
So Hiroka in the building here as well today. Can see Exist right there.
Yeah, Legend teams will start getting in.
Yeah, saw Sprout hanging about.
Yeah, Nipper in.
Hey, well, Acor and IEM have searched over towards A and they've called the sector clear. And now as they rotate back through, the flash, the fight, and the frag for drop.
That's different. Isak and Imi making a round out of this. Back out, Isak. Hold the advantage. FURIA letting this one go just a little bit. Arc cannot take his foot off the accelerator, though. The nade, oops. Not ideal. And neither that. 4, okay, it will have to do. It's all they can work with. GamerLegion certainly not out of the woods yet. FURIA in pole position to start and take the first map of our best of 3. We'll have to wait and see.
the people of Brazil, they are really sentimental. So they really like to show support and that stuff, and that's why I think they support the teams like this, and they really show their love when they are watching and supporting us.
Boa.
Lobby.
Vem comigo, drop. Tá, eu jogo.
Tá fechado pro beco, tá fechado.
Vem comigo.
Tá perto do beco, velho. Joga aí, troca tiro.
Comigo, vou abrir. Meu rapaz.
Train filho. Ali na troca.
Boa, bora.
Cara, meu cu fechou no...
Well, IEM Rio is on form today, and so are FURIA. In a beautiful symbiosis, Brazil seems to be online here at LAN.
Not too many wins for them to celebrate so far, but looks like the tides are changing. 11-4, the scores on the door. And this one, you won't say it's been a bore. FURIA, though, have been throwing GamerLegion around the server. They could not string together consecutive CT-sided rounds, and now they're the ones on the attack. You can see the buy here from FURIA, a couple of HEs in the mix. This is very telling.
Yeah, a bit unique, a little off the beaten path. KSCERATO could do a chunk of damage with that. He's cycled to the smoke, so won't have immediate HE fragmentation. He's just going to have to give it up and track a very exposed Acor.
Interesting he's stuck around there. I don't think they saw him. This molly here is going to land over towards the window position. Made forward a lick of damage.
He's stubborn, isn't he, KSCERATO? Great smoke.
Here.
Oh, that might cancel your plans, or you just have to... Oh! Hit a shot like that! Straight out of the gate! Imet, damage, running down. Isak's got himself the bomb and the frag necessary. Still the site held. And okay, drive by, holding the gun sideways is Art. Forces Kios out of the round. They'd love to get the bomb down. And Isak obliges problems now. Oh, what is that? Another big Glock headshot. Advantage GamerLegion. And it's finished with style as well. Isak, pinpoint perfect. And 5 frags between the two of them.
Oh, looked rough there, running through that smoke towards the top of the stairs. You're thinking this ain't going to go very well at all. But dismantling that first individual at KSCERATO, overstaying his welcome here at Woods. That was the biggest drama right there. Shui puts his body on the line, so does Kios, but none of that matters. It's the Glocks on the site. It's an around lighting this one up, and again, getting fired up, but they need to get consecutive rounds together here.
Oh, for sure. This cannot be anything short of a runaway now from GamerLegion. They have to get under Furia's skin silence the crowd and keep all those guns flowing around. Actually, they went for 3 SMGs, hoping to farm up some extra funds.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Right now, just to note the early exchange, FURIA did throw a flash forward to facilitate an out-push into ladder. Now, he isn't creeping and crawling in that direction, but GamerLegion don't know that. They have to be aware as they haven't played anybody up top to cover off that position. So as they waltz in towards B, could just completely execute it, and you can see very tidy stuff. Double mollied the back pillar, but not the end of the world. They're in, and this one is secured. 11-6, you're going to see how quickly, if the first gun round falls apart for FURIA, how this scoreline can get awfully close.
Yeah, well, there is a certain set of laws that we must abide by as humans. There's gravity, Zonic's law, and he, of course, wrote that an 11-4 scoreline is the most deceptive in all of Counter-Strike.
Well, we've also got Murphy's Law, Coleslaw.
Coleslaw, of course. Some guy had a razor at one point. I think his name was Hockham.
Wow.
Or
all right, well, there it is. Unicorn round. Nobody dies. All 10 players staying alive, and this is where it gets curious. What you mentioned about those SMGs, now they come into play because they're going up against rifles on the other side, and those rifles have quite smartly equipped head armor. Everybody bar drop with the head armor in the play, and that might actually come back to be a boon for FURIA.
yeah, well, how much can they really get done, especially with the MAC-10? Like, I kind of can see how UMP has validity up against these rifles, but it is their rifles now that are trying to pave the way. Not clearing his corners, isak caught out, and the KSCERATO just happy to stand and bang, and now it's traded out equally. The advantage is up for debate given the HP. We might want to see some juggled rifles, but you can see the knee-jerk reaction is 2 from FURIA to re-clear.
They can take their time now. They're not in a rush. yuurih up the top using the one-way smoke. GamerLegion to be careful. You can just wait this out. You have so much time on the clock, but similar to FURIA, a fast opener where they take the fight as a unit, clearing out the right-hand side of forklift room. Potentially bad information as Shui's the one who's been given that AK. He's taking the fight. The bullets through, and the crowd prays for FURIA to convert this first gun round.
It certainly would make things a whole lot less tense for the locals. Shuii gets his test. Woof! Passes with flying colors. His 6th frag, but it could translate into a 7th round. This is interesting. Ime has gone, despite the commitment into the site, into the B site. It's a When Art does that too on the MP9, and there is not that 3rd component. God, he's only worth 1 there, Chad. How has he stolen 2?
They were seesawing as well. Acor maybe with a slight overextension there on low HP. Might have given this one up. Now poor Ime has to do it all on his own. Only towards the sandbag position. 19 seconds on the clock. How are you meant to win this?
They've got a real solid preference here, FURIA. They love this short wrap. And fumbled his lines a little bit there on the SMG. Art's already done his damage though, and so it's safe. To keep things safe and secure.
It's a sinking feeling immediately here for GamerLegion. Did a great job in these exchanges.
Yeah, you had a 3v3.
There's too many unknowns again, right? They had no idea where all these individuals were because they had to be so diligent. You see the molly towards the sandbag position, the smoke there as well. It's Acor on low HP and overstepping the mic the line just slightly. And they can buy again. A couple of omissions are thrust forward, and he will get the control here.
This is a very forward position from Art. Seems like there's a clear initial intent from GamerLegion to deny this early B info. Obviously smoked off for now, that will change. Art burrowed in, isak parked as well.
Frees them up to play 3 towards A here. KSCERATO mid, drop can actually go back up yuurih and safe. As I say, his name is creeping for info, using the underside of this one-way.
Does enable angles like that, just the little boots to betray you, Acor, if you do touch that key. But upon the fade, they've just waited out, as you should, with 60 seconds, all to play for. 5 alive.
Hard to execute into A here for GamerLegion. A smoke, a flash A HE, that's the best they have. How are you going to clear safe?
Yeah, they're going to have to use their bullets. He's very patient on this one, and oh, nearly had Drop punished. He still doesn't choose to engage. Drop gets the first blood. No one's looking at him. And the frags just keep coming. FURIA in the feed, one after another. 4 in quick succession. And what little remaining hope that GamerLegion were holding, clinging onto, it's starting to evaporate. You know you're in trouble when your mind starts looking at the second map.
And they have to. We need to start turning our attention here to Inferno. An opportunity for GamerLegion to try and draw this into a 1-1 scoreline. It's a positive sign that they put up a little bit of a fight here, as we're on board with Isak looking for the save. Ancient is the third and decider if we do need to get there. But Art is on the hunt and might start running into action. Will does, and I think Isak will just stay alive here. So gets to retain this AK. That would have been miserable for him, taking $100 and nothing else into the next round of play.
Oh, a very OG Brazilian fan there, rocking the LG jersey.
But this was going to be difficult for GamerLegion no matter what. I think another one of the interesting factors here was Chewy, the front of the pack with the bomb on his back. As soon as they spot him, they know it has to be that A finish. GamerLegion will just follow into this round with the AK. It's all they can do considering where the finances are at. Isak has been good in the clutch. Didn't get an opportunity to even have a look in the previous, and now he needs to be the opener. So the tasks continue to chop and change as this B aggression, it's been consistent for FURIA. They've always wanted to at least take the fight or at least have a look for the fight.
I guess it does kind of condition your opponent to have to be there on the default. You can't go for any overly whimsical plays because you know if you leave that open, someone from FURIA will be investigating.
Slight smokes on the faces there as they're just kind of a play around, waiting out for the fade of these smokes. They're not in a rush.
Yeah, valuable time on the stage to be had here for GamerLegion. I'm sure these players have got a lot more to be done in their careers, and so this is a very valuable chapter. They're playing in Rio, up against a home favorite, and getting naded, sprayed. And that was one, or rather the only, rifle. Isak, only 33 points of health, doesn't have the opportunity to provide the trade. His drop is just handing out headshots. Up to 14. 3 in a row now for this defense. And you have to give Drop a bit of a shout out as he closes that one out. He's actually managed to tie up with yuurih, who was off to such a flying start. I didn't think anyone would catch him.
Everybody just handing out the damage here for FURIA. There hasn't been a single player that's faltered, nobody lacking behind, everybody contributing where they need to. So it's been a great team effort here for map number 1. Now this is the side effect of Isak with the save into a UMP. Again, a little bit light on with the utility. You have a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes. You don't have enough to really fight back. They need to find the frags of Shui on the entries. That's one that you turn to. He's already up.
Des discussed his T-side openings and struggling to put it together.
I don't think he has a single opening this game.
Man, I'm sure Art has a few on the CT openings as well, but yeah, everyone putting their weight for the FURIA boys. Saves, it's Safe's turn in the sunlight, double kill, make it a triple. IEM combining with Isak to suddenly make a round out of this. Ready for the flank, ready for the flank. Oh, just pulled out his nade. Trade, not ready. Short, wrapping, KSCERATO, the silent, but deadly. Has 15, is posted.
So many bodies just thrown into these type of fights, and it's just a wave after wave after wave that are coming in direction of GamerLegion here. And they can smell the blood in the water now. One more round required here.
Oh, kicking himself about him. I think he even considered the flank and just had that momentary, okay, it's something else. Brain starts thinking about something else, and frag comes through.
It's just been a compromised T-half the entire time.
Yeah, and look at this one. This is how you defend your honor.
You just have to throw your bodies on the line here and hope that the trades land favorably for you. This is only the 3rd timeout call for GamerLegion. It's hard to get a real grasp on when to use these in a match like this. Nothing feels like it's going right. to be an all-in towards A here. When in doubt, just try the full A ramp control. They're actually spreading. Expecting it to be a bit more direct here, but...
Wow, that's forward, isn't it? Highly aggressive from Art, and isak will punish.
Nice little angle there through the lamp. Didn't see a whole lot there as they flash forward on A. And speaking of A, the fight is coming towards the tippy top of that ramp. They've cleared it out, and they might want to keep pushing here. There's a window of opportunity to have several members on the flank quite fast.
Yeah, KSCERATO will be alone on B. That's a lovely angle from him. There, one. Now the speed into that B take might be forced. KSCERATO concerned about mid, responsible for B. yuurih and safe do have to get over there, and a lovely spot. KSCERATO's brought down to just a scrap of health. Should be just a formality to put him down at this point, but safe has come and bailed him out. KSCERATO's still alive, and they're going to go looking for him. He's still caught one. Gets Acore out of it.
Oh!
Shooey, stylish, just efficient on the limited bullets. Swapping between them, gets it done. Now yuurih in the clutch to close it efficiently. On the advance, I think he may catch a glimpse of, yeah, the head just through the box, and now gets one. Oh, isak extend. Everyone, like watching a firework display, not knowing how that one was going to end.
Oohs in the arse there. The flanks on flanks on flanks. FURIA continue to play outside of the box Counter-Strike here, and GamerLegion just trying to be ready for it. The fact that KSCERATO gets anything done there after being found out towards the tall box, great from him, but Shuey that dink and then into the M4. That's a wild little sequence from him.
Never seen anything quite like that.
Okay, well, another crack at it, and they win this one. They've broken the economy here of FURIA. Back to B with the fight. isak forward, wins the first. KSCERATO grabs two, but the second for isak. He's going to run on in. He's going to take this space.
He has to, and he has to hold on to it. See how far he can dig before he gets found out. This is fast drop, aware, damage, but only yuurih.
What a stunner of a performance here for isak. 22 kills and counting. Him with 17, so these two are the ones stepping up.
Yeah, he's undaunted. So is yuurih. Into the 1 versus 3, and burning down. Imet to close. And so GamerLegion, at least for proving to themselves, rounds to be had here on the T side.
It's touch and go, and it's going to continue to be so here. They have to stay flawless if they want to take this one to overtime. And some of these banana peel rounds that are coming up next is what you could slip over. You don't want to be losing to a partial investment with a 5-7. Are the worst ways to go. And the low HP there are the two defenders, or the two remaining Ts on that side. It was very rough. yuurih could have very well won that round. And this would be the first timeout for FURIA. That really tells you the state of the nation. Things have been going quite swimmingly. You wouldn't risk anything like this. You have so many rounds to play with. As far as the loss, okay, never mind. I forget who I'm dealing with. I've just seen an M4 get bought and dropped to drop. So that's Art with the generous donation. And there will be investments around this.
And every time he's pressed in interviews about these kind of financial decisions, he always says, it's fine, next round I just go over back 10 and we win anyway.
Yeah, it's wild what he's confident in here, Art. Now, look, the investments aren't hefty. It's actually quite light. yuurih with a 5-7, KSCERATO with a P250 and a couple of flashes. But if Drop can win the fights towards B early, there's a couple of gruns that could find themselves on the floor to be scooped up. But this time it's towards A.
And that's going to get your Feckles up. You see a smoke, a one-way drop. You thought they were on an eco. What could be behind it and the boost, as well as Art, is the answer. Nades, trying to make space. Art, the element of surprise if he gets this right. They are pre-aiming him, and oof,
Nice
good damage, yeah, and that should be lethality. Acore and in there, lucky to be alive at this point. 8 points of health between the two. But yeah, potency lost. Drop will try and maintain. And no harm, no foul.
Okay, well, they will try and hold on to this, and it's GamerLegion getting up to 9 rounds now. Biggest concern for them is just making sure you don't give away another rifle. At this point, you have to buy round after round after round, so the serious nature of this has sunk in. Just a moment to take our breath here. It doesn't, you know, it's really hard to see where GamerLegion are meant to navigate. the next 6 rounds of play to take us to that OT.
I don't know if FURIA would forgive themselves if they let another multi-round comeback occur.
Yeah, very true.
You know, they've already, we discussed it, Drop discussed it, something they're just trying to forget about was a slip up. Was that on day 1?
Yeah, against Big. That was a rough one to watch. They had that banger of the first half, 12-3 CT side. They grabbed the pistol, got themselves up to a 13-3 scoreline. At one junction, they were 14-7, and ended up losing 19-16 to Big, who have locked themselves in for the Legends stage. So the Germans getting it done with Sin in the server. David having to watch from home. But regardless, they've taken care of business regarding the Challenger stage.
Something FURIA are looking to do over the course of the next 2 or 3 maps. 1 round is all that separates them from getting that first leg across the line. Yuurih trying to call a good T side, trying to play every round out. Just treat each round in a vacuum, not let the influence of your opponent's haul obscure your vision and execution. You got Yuurih walking on into KSCERATO's domain. The man's a turret, and he's proactive.
He wants to continue this fight. It starts to be a bit worrisome now that he's been pressured out of position here. More U2 over, but it's a bit more of a fake. Trying to force these rotations right now of FURIA. They've thrown out their own defensive utility. Smoke will plume towards the top of the stairs there, so that has bought them about 20 seconds worth of time.
Trying to nade that boost spot, and it does find isak.
Looks like it'll be a B finish here. 3 Molotovs, they can litter the site. A smoke as well, and flashes are good.
Just clearing any of that boost hijinks. Nothing's slipped through. Drop confirms it, and we'll tuck in. And now, oh, perfect from KSCERATO. Just speculative bullets in every single one, catching him on the mantle. Running out of time here. Looks like we're running out of time. Only the one. Yuurih onto KSCERATO. Trying to get in with 15 seconds. It's just going to be hectic. Keot's trying as hard as he can, but it's not enough. It is not enough. Acor down. FURIA. 1 leg in the Legend stage. Looking to hot skip and a jump into our second map and to that top 16. The crowd.
This is absolutely mental down here. It's heating up. FURIA fans are excited every